Hi there, this is Let's Testify. I am a Jew, Ilumelu. Let's Testify is about real life stories, people's pains and gains, and the way people overcome the difficulties and adversities in their lives. Right here, we offer encouraging words and hope for the possibility of change, growth, healing, and the resolution for all their travails. This show delves into the innermost core of people's adversities. Welcome to Let's Testify. Today, as usual, is a testimony day. We have a young man here who God has led through all kinds of dangers. But before we go on, we want you to go on our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget the YouTube. Meet us there, talk to us, and we'll definitely respond to you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Testify. Today, we have a young man called Adekunle Olumide. Olumide, come on in. Welcome to Let's Testify.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm told that you're from Ibadan. How was your trip?
It was fine.
Okay. Sit down. Woo. I read about, the synopsis of Adekunle's testimony, and it was just amazing. I had chills all over my body. So Adekunle, please share your testimony with the audience.
Okay. Thank you for having me on the show.
Not a problem.
Yeah. There are several times when God saves us from dangers and, that we don't get to know. But it is very important when when we get close to one and then we get to know that God actually saved us. So I won't cut along. I'll just get straight to it. There was this day I was traveling to Ibadan from Lagos, and I had to go to my sister's place first because it was a Saturday and I had to be in church on Sunday. And I had already missed the rehearsals on Saturday, so I decided that no, I must get to church on Sunday.
Are you a church choir? Are you
yes,
choir master,
I'm a choir
singer?
master,
Okay.
yes.
Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah. So I knew that I missed the rehearsal that day, and I was not going to miss the Sunday service. So I got to my sister's place around 8:30, and she said I should stay back, and I said no, I have to be in church. So I left her place around a few minutes to 9.
9 at night?
9 p.m., yes.
From Lagos?
Yes, Ikorodu to be precise.
Is that safe?
It's not naturally, but I just have to leave that day. Even she insisted I should not, but I had to.
That just tells you, disobedience is disobedience when somebody says don't. Like my sister one time said, I was traveling. Your tire is bad. This tire is going to burst. I turned around and I'm like, why did I tell her I was traveling? Now she has put negative words. Yeah. And guess what?
It's happened.
My tire burst on the highway. Go ahead.
Amazing. So yeah, that's actually the case around here too, because I just got in my car then, and I had to drive all the way. I didn't really know how to drive at that time, but I've been driving for about 6 months, and I've been trying. So I left around few minutes to 9, and she said I should not go. I said, no, I must go, and I left. I got, I had to pass through Ikorodu to Ibadan. There's this one where I didn't go through the main express. There is this road behind, I'll remember the name.
Well, the back road?
Yes.
You're traveling late and you're following the back road.
Yes,
the back roads are always very tedious and,
yes,
with a lot of bushes around. Ain't it though?
Yes.
See?
That's what I went through. So I'd driven for like 30 minutes. The road was dark, everywhere was dark, but I just have to, there were several potholes on the road, and I was just dodging, trying to avoid it.
Plus, you're a new driver. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So it got to a place, a very dangerous part of the road where there are many potholes there. And I had issues, navigating them, trying to avoid them. But there's one very big one in the middle of the road, and that's the one I entered. I never knew that it was actually my car, because I heard a loud bang as if it was a gunshot. And after driving for a while, I discovered that the car was shaking, so I had to park and discovered that my tire had busted. And I looked around, it was very dark. Nobody was going to help me.
Oh my goodness. Did you try to ask for help? Were there cars driving?
Yeah, definitely. It was an express road. There are several cars that are going back and forth. And looking at the circumstance around that time, even if it was me, I would not stop. Because, a young man with a sports car on the side of the road, my dress that day was a hood. I was putting on a hood.
No, the devil really...
Yeah.
Can I say the way my sister would say, the devil entered you? I mean, you left late, you went through the back road, your sister said don't travel, and you did.
Yeah.
And then you were wearing the wrong gear, so nobody stopped.
Nobody stopped. As in, they were even trying to, keep their distance away from me while I was trying to wave some cars down for help. After like 5 minutes, I went inside the car. I put on my phone and discovered there was no service. The service was down, and the battery was even going low. At that time, I just said a short prayer that, God, I'm in your hands.
Because you knew you were gonna.
There is no help that was gonna come at that time. And after saying that prayer, I went out, put off my hood, and I was trying to jack up the tire to change it. I brought out the spare tire.
Oh, you had a spare tire?
Yeah, I had a spare tire.
So why were you looking for help?
It was late in the night, when you get down to change tire, anything can happen. So I was trying to find a very fast way of getting out of the place. Even if it means I'll leave the car there and I'll leave. Okay. But since there's not like that, so I went back to take off my jack and fix the tire. While I was trying to jack up, the car went back down. The jack could not hold it because the car wasn't standing well based on where I parked. So when I tried it again and I was trying to set the jack under the tire, under the car, I saw a kind of hole in the bush, where the car was, where the car was beside. A hole was as if it was an animal that dug the hole or a human being. It's this tall.
Or a ritualist, Oh my goodness.
That just got me destabilized that no, this place is not safe. So I tried to change the tire was not coming forward, was not coming out. There was nothing else to do. So I just stood beside the road that even if I'll stay here for like 1 hour, let me see if nobody will wait for me for the next 1 hour. I just stand there and I was trying to wave cars down. Nobody was.
Well, throughout all of that, did you believe that God was going to do it?
Of course,
you were getting scared.
Of course, I was getting scared looking at the some circumstances at that time. But then, you know, talking about faith, God says when you pray, believe, and you will have what you said. So when I made that prayer, I know that God was going to do something. So looking at everything that I've done, and it was futile, nothing was working, I just stood there and I was waiting for God to do something. So I didn't know what God was going to do. Maybe He'll allow a car to stop by, or maybe a bus that is going to Ibadan that is not filled up will just stop back and pick me or something. I looked down the road and I saw a trailer that broke down too, and it was empty, vacated, like all the people there left the trailer there and left, because obviously the place was dangerous, nobody was going to stay. So I just stood there.
It was a very terrible place to have a breakdown.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And then there's no light. Just
no lights, no lights. If a car passed now and there's no car coming forward, everywhere is dark. Until you see another car coming, that's when you have lights. So I was like there 30 minutes going, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's when I saw a Bora. I just drove slowly past, and the person got in front of where I was standing, and I was hearing, I said it. And I looked at who was that, and it was my sister.
Oh no.
And she was like,
what?
She just looked at me.
Wait. Your sister came through.
Yes.
And said, I said it. I knew you're not supposed to travel.
That's what she kept saying. So I was like,
oh, Jehovah.
She just drove past, saw me, she paused a little and then went and parked in the front. And she kept repeating that word, and I was like, what are you doing here? As if I was not glad Happy. She was there. So she said, she was just feeling that unction that something is wrong.
Oh my goodness.
I said, when? She said like 30 minutes ago.
After you left?
And I discovered that was the time I made a prayer.
Oh no.
You know, I had stayed for 30 minutes.
So she came all the way from Lagos?
Yeah.
Through that dangerous road?
Yeah.
How did she know that you went through that road instead of the other?
I told her I was going to go to Ibadan, and maybe, guess what? I didn't even know how she knew which road I would take. She just told me that the unction was getting stronger. As much as she was trying to fight it down, it wasn't going. So she was like, she was just going to drive all the way
to Ibadan
on the express
to see
if I'm not there, she'll turn back to Lagos that same night.
It's amazing. It actually has to do with the love, serious love.
You know, when I tell people the testimony, nobody gets to know how serious it was, because I was the one in that situation. And if that thing happened, I wonder what could have saved me that night. Looking at, you know, my appearance that night, the car that broke down, the trailer that was
parked
there, and the condition of the road itself. Because after the incident, few days later, I was driving past that place again, of course, in the afternoon. I never did at night again. So I was driving past and I slowed down around that area, and I discovered the reason why people didn't stop.
Why?
It was a very scary place. Even in the afternoon, it was scary to me at that time. And, you know, at a short distance, I saw a very big tree that has a red wrap around it.
Oh boy, that was a sacrifice location.
Yeah, more like a, you know, a ritualist environment. It was very serious.
I'm actually tongue-tied. I'm tongue-tied that a sister, that God will send someone to help you, you know. And wow, Olumide, I am told that you have, you know, another thing to testimony to share with us.
Yes.
So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Testify. We just heard a testimony that just broke me. I think that we should always follow our instinct.
Yes.
Whenever it comes to our loved ones or our friends, and and you have this instinct to save someone, I think that one really should.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. But please, what is your next testimony?
Okay. The next one have to be about a car too.
A what?
About my car.
Okay,
too.
your car.
Yes.
Okay.
God has saved me many times on different occasions, but this one's got my attention because to me it was more like a what's this word again? Interference from God. Like he actually had to do with that situation. So there was this day that I left church in the evening. I was driving home. The service was evening service on a Wednesday, and we resumed. We started service 6 o'clock and we closed 8. So around 8:30, I was driving to my house. It was a 1-hour drive to my house from the church. So when I got to like 20 minutes away from the house or 15 minutes away from the house, the road to my house is a very, very bad one, like untarred road. So I had to, when you're driving on an untarred road, you'll be hearing the tire will be making noise and all that. The car would not be stable. So I was just driving and I was having that feeling that stop this car and check the tire. And I was like, that was not actually the car that had
The other one.
tire the other time.
Okay.
I bought another one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a sports car too. So I got that feeling and I said, no, the car is okay, it's just the road. But the word came back, stop this car, check the tire. At that time, I just stopped the car and checked the tire and discovered that out of the 5 bolts that were holding the tire, 4 had gone out.
Say what?
Only 1 was still holding. And that one
You
was...
mean holding the rim and everything?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
The nut
Right.
holding the tire to the wheel. Yeah. So 4 had gotten out, remaining 1, and the remaining 1 is on his way out. Was on his way out, like halfway. So the tire had bent, was ready to give way. I saw it, I was like, oh, thank God. Casual, thank God. I knew that was a very, very strong one because it could have been worse.
What is with you and night trips anyway?
Like I said, I was coming from church, and I don't miss church services.
Yeah, that's, but it's, oh my goodness. I can imagine just driving and your tire just goes up. That's what was going to happen.
Yes, that's what was going to happen.
And that's what I keep talking about, that instinct. Once you feel it, and that's with me. Once I feel, I exploit. That you having signs from here and there.
It's very important.
God's intervention. When you feel it, you need to act on it, and that's what you did.
Yeah.
Always follow your instincts. Once you have that feeling, follow it, and that's what I do. That's what I do. It'll save your life.
Yes. So I got down from the car that day and I had help from a young boy that was standing by to fix the tire, and I was able to pull out like 2 nuts from the back tires to hold it back, and I managed the car home. And that day, I left the car there. For the next 1 week, I was just I tried to get a mechanic around, or at least a organizer, to come and check the tire and see what they can do. But nobody was just coming. Like they were like, sometimes I'll get to a place and say he's not around, he's busy, stuff like that. So for the next 1 week, the car was at home. I wasn't driving. I was just taking public transport. So on a Saturday, I decided that this car you must work today, um, even if it means I'll drag you all the way to my mechanic's workshop. So I got there, fixed the tire by force, just to make sure that it's safe enough, and I managed the car, to drive one hour back to where my mechanic workshop is. And when I was like 30 minutes away from the place, the tire gave way, remaining one bolt again. At this time I
So
was
you lost
being
all the bolts
yes,
again?
yes. So at this time I was being careful. I was sensitive to the sound of the tire and all that.
Right.
So when I discovered that the car was shaking, I knew that they had gone. So I got down and saw that only one was still holding. So at that time I said I wasn't gonna risk it again. I would just park there and called my mechanic, and he took a bike to come and meet me there. And mechanic techniques. He just did something, and the car got to his workshop that day. And I left the car there, went to church. I told him, I remember giving him express instruction that he should not fix the car yet until I am sure I'm ready to drive the car. And he said, okay. So the day after, my sister called me and said she needed, the car to do a little runs. And I was like, okay, that's a good one. But the car is not working. It's at my mechanic workshop. It's no problem. She'll pay the mechanic to fix it, and I can bring it. And I was like, grateful that she was gonna pay for the repair, but
you didn't want that.
I was still having this feeling that don't drive this car. It's like God was giving me signal that this car should not be driven for now. So after she finished calling, I knew that she was going to call the mechanic.
Wow, she also knows your mechanic. This your sister is right into
in my family we're very close, right. So we can easily predict each other.
Right.
So immediately
it's amazing.
Phone, I knew that she was going to call the mechanic. So I called the mechanic immediately. I didn't even allow 1 minute to pass. I called him and I said, please, my sister is most probably going to call you now.
Don't release the car.
To ask for this car. Tell her that
it's not working.
The car is not working currently and it will take a lot to fix. Okay. And I had brought it to you and I said, we are not driving this car until everything about the car is fixed. So, maybe the mechanic needed money at that time.
Right.
And sure enough, my sister called and he told her that, yes, your brother just brought his car yesterday, and this is the amount that is going to cost to fix the car, which I've told him to not.
And I can fix it right away.
Yes. So my sister was like, that's easy. I'll wire the funds to you, then you can fix it and at least let him have his car back. So when the mechanic called me that your sister has wired the cash
money,
I told him,
why?
You shouldn't have done that. I told you I don't want to drive this car for now. He said, it's your sister and, I can't lie to her and stuff like that.
He just wanted that quick cash. I think
okay.
That's what it was.
Go ahead and fix the car. So he fixed it, and the day he told me to come and pick the car, it was the following day, I think. And the following day was a Wednesday or Tuesday. There was service in church. So I went to his place so I can pick the car and go to church. But on getting there, he was still working on the car. So I told him, okay, just take your time. I'll go to church. Anytime the car is ready, let me know. The guy fixed the car that day and brought it to me in church, which he doesn't normally do. Normally he will just leave the car there and go home or call me that it's fixed. But he brought it to church that the car is ready, and I was like, okay, now that the car is there, at least I'll just drive it back home and give it to my sister. At least I won't drive the car, even with the feelings that I have to not drive the car. So I took the car, and the following day I went and dropped the car at my sister's place.
Okay. Before you continue, because I know something is going to happen. So, let's just go for a commercial, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Testify. If you are just tuning in, you have missed quite a bit. We have Adekunle Olumide here, and he has been really giving us some very powerful testimony. And Adekunle, okay, now you took the car to your sister. You
Yes.
know, you had a choice. The car was brought to you at church. Why did you now take it back to your sister?
Like I said earlier, we're close to my family.
Yeah, but you said you had, that's that sign that I keep telling
Yes,
you,
yes.
you know, good or bad. Once you have that premonition, you don't need to follow it and just put your feet down, you know?
My pastor used to tell me something that if we know what's going to happen to us, exactly what's going to happen to us 15 minutes from now, we probably don't need God.
Okay.
If we know
That's-
exactly what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes,
Then we don't need God.
we'll just relax and see everything is settled.
Okay.
So I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, through whom it's going to happen, or exactly when. But I just knew that I should not drive at that time. So, and since my sister asked for the car, I was like, okay, since I'm not the one that's going to drive, let me just get rid of this car and give it to her. She can use it for some days. And, it's that same day that she had accident with the car.
The same
But,
day.
Yeah, the same day. She had accident with the car and it claimed 2 lives.
Jesus.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
the accident claimed 2 lives. And we're still at it. Yeah.
You know, in this environment, if you kill someone, don't they try to kill you on the spot?
Yeah, there was,
Oh,
at the time, there were some police around, and immediately it happened. When I even saw the car, it was a scratch. When she explained, the impact of the car, there was a bike on the road, and there was a Micra on the road as well, and there was a trailer coming. So being a lady, you panic when you see a trailer facing you on a narrow road.
what do you mean being a lady?
I'm
Anyone
sorry.
can panic. I mean, will you not panic? I mean, when you see a trailer coming, you panic. Anybody will panic because it's just.
Yeah.
So she tried to.
She tried to, navigate away from the road, at least to avoid the impact of the oncoming trailer. And then the bike beside the Micra that are both standing on the road didn't give her enough room to, clear. So she hit the bike hit the Micra went to hit 2 ladies that were standing
Man.
beside Micra.
So they died on the spot?
They really didn't die on the spot. One was with a broken leg, was taken to Federal Hospital, and the other was taken to the State Hospital.
And they didn't make it?
They passed out the following day.
Is a court case right now?
Yes, of course. There are 2 families involved,
Right.
2 different ladies. So one of the families came and said they were not pushing for case, that they won't.
Okay, so they let it go?
Yeah, said they want to let it go.
And the other one?
But the other man insisted that he wants justice in a sense, because
That was his wife?
no, according to him, he said he lost his wife a few months before, and the daughter's friend came to visit the daughter, to greet her for the mother's burial ceremony, and that's when this happened. The daughter and the friend.
Oh, wow.
So he's, I don't know, maybe he's affected or he's not. He just said he needed something to take out the, the feeling that he lost his wife and then daughter again, so he's angry. He said he was not going to
Anyway.
accept any plea or compensation.
Anyway, I'm sorry for what your family is going through and the other family that is, and those that lost their lives in this process. Yes, even though we testify on this show, we equally, want to, bring some few things to light, and that is that power of obedience.
The amazing part is, despite all this that happened, there's something that I always tell myself: it could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
That's what my priest would say. Bad things happen because God does not want worse things to happen. That is,
So
he always.
much worse than that.
What can be worse than killing somebody? When you kill somebody, it's not on her. The psychological and mental problem
Yes.
that she's going to go through is,
Yes, as far as she's concerned.
is quite a bit. But we thank God for His mercies. We wish those that have died, we wish them perfect rest in the Lord. So thank you so much, Dekunle Olumide, for being with us today and sharing your testimony. We have this thing that we do on the show is to leave our last words for you guys. So Olumide, talk to the viewers.
Thank you for having me on the show and giving me this amazing opportunity to share my testimonies. It's I'm grateful for it. But I'm just going to advise, all our viewers that God has a way of talking to us on a daily basis. And one of the ways God talks to us is by instinct. God's not going to bring out a loudspeaker to talk to us. Another way is it's going to tell someone, maybe your pastor or someone, to tell you something, but because we're human, we mostly don't listen to other people telling us what to do. So God tells us Himself by speaking to our spirit, and that's what we call instinct. So when you have instinct to do something, always try and follow it. Don't ignore it. It might just be what will save your life or save the life of someone else. Thank you.
That little voice that talks to you all the time. Something will never happen except, you get the feeling. Everybody has it. You just have to pay attention to your instinct. Pay attention to that little voice. It will save your life. Thank you for watching Let's Testify. Bye now, Nigerians. Testify. Thank you.